24-hour police officers at my home for 5 years.
It's a joke.
Maybe you don't need someone to rep you in that way like you thought you do. Maybe you can just handle.
I know how to hustle. I know how to make $1. I know how to hit a flea market. There is no tired. There is no tired. You sleep next time.
YouTuber Roman Atwood has made a fortune pulling pranks.
Rated R pranks. Super viral. 100 million views on a prank. So now you're gonna leave and make these family videos that are PG, like super PG. I went to war over that show because I'm a daily vlogger running around with my camera on hyper speed. And all of a sudden,
What is up, everybody? Welcome to...
I just now lost my son full time. I never even thought of that. I never even thought once about that.
YouTubers do have merch,
Yeah.
but yours is different, right? Like you built a brand.
What if I don't get any orders?
So it'd be really embarrassing.
Smile more, dude. You got this. Come on, let's go.
Just a quick note before the video starts, a lot of people were asking for this to be uploaded on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It is uploaded on both of those in the description, as well as the previous episodes and all episodes moving forward. That's without any sound effects, just the raw audio. If you want to check that out, you can. Enjoy the episode.
Well, I don't think I'll ever film this in a laundromat again. So thank you for allowing us to take over your laundromat.
Welcome, man.
This is really cool.
Welcome to as good as it gets right here, dude. This is...
I mean, you're first off, I just gotta say you're an absolute legend. I have to
thank
say
you,
it.
man.
How long you been on YouTube now?
I know we've passed 15. I don't know if we hit 16 years yet. So
That's
we're right
so
there.
crazy.
So.
So crazy. I know in New York when FaZe was when we first moved into the house. Now, what is that? 10 years ago this year. I remember we spoke to you
Wow.
here and there, but we've never met. So
How?
I don't know. Yeah.
I used to tweet pictures of like still waiting for FaZe to show up with like
With
a
the
skeleton.
I remember that. I remember that too.
Like we always joked about getting together, but we never did.
I know.
So.
And I mean, you were one of like the first big YouTubers like that too that we were, because that was like when we were first on the come up.
Yeah.
So, you were already a legend then, still are now. You just passed 100 to 60 days almost, 150 recently. You're about to cross 160
In a row.
I
don't know what I'm doing.
So we're gonna get to all of that. But I just want to say thank you for having me in Ohio.
Absolutely, man.
I have to say, I asked Roman right away. He responded. He's like, "Let's do it." And then every time I ask him a question, whatever you need, I'm there. Whatever you need, whatever you need. So I really appreciate it. Because you don't need to be doing this at all.
Well,
so.
I've done this podcast game, so I know what it's like to reach out to people.
Yeah.
It gets a little hectic, so
Yeah,
I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for coming to Ohio.
Yeah, hey.
To a freaking laundromat.
We weren't sure we were gonna film. I'm glad we're in the laundromat.
By the way, I gave you options.
He did. He gave me options. You know how many options he gave me? One of the first things he said was, "Let me know when you land. I can pick you up in my helicopter and bring you." So he definitely was not. He did not.
Let's get it done, dude.
Yeah, I did not take the helicopter ride, but thank you for the offer because I know it was
man.
serious. This guy really offered to pick up a helicopter. I think that's like one of the most legendary DMs I'll ever have. So I mean, just off the helicopter. When did you get the helicopter? I gotta just ask. And how much does a helicopter cost?
So the whole helicopter started over a decade ago. Actually, in my videos, I used to joke around with my viewers. I'd see a helicopter and I'd be like, one day, I will learn how to fly a helicopter. I've been obsessed with them. I think they're the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And I can't see a helicopter without like running out of my house and looking up. Like, I love them. So it was a joke for a decade. And then when I went off YouTube for a while, I had time and I had money. So I was like, talked to Brittany, my wife, said, hey, I'm buying a helicopter. And she was like, let's do it. Go. So I found a helicopter down in Texas, had a great team source it. I don't want to get too complicated with this, but found a helicopter, had nowhere to put it, had no experience whatsoever. Good friend of mine flew down with me, brought it home, landed it at my house, nowhere to put it, no one to teach me. I'm like, oh, it's go time.
Yeah.
So crazy enough, there ended up being a guy in my church that was a CFI who could train me. So
Wow.
he'd come over a couple times a week. We'd fly for a couple hours. You only need 40 hours to take a test. I did about 80 hours since I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
And passed the test, no issues, got my license, took 10 months. And then I've been flying for the last couple years.
So you literally could just take it whenever you want. You just go to the airport. Where do you take it? Like, where do you take the helicopter? Where else do you go with it?
Anywhere. I mean, we flew my new one home from Salt Lake City, Utah. It's like a 12-hour flight.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they can go that far.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's like 5 fuel stops.
Oh, okay. That
But
makes
I mean,
sense.
you have to go to the bathroom every couple hours anyway. So
Wow.
you're always landing. You're hitting airports. You're fueling up. You're getting snacks. You're staying at a hotel.
That's crazy. That's like
it's
a-
adventure. It's like freedom.
Yeah.
It's like being a bird.
It's like a hobby for you.
Yeah,
Like
it's an
capacity,
addiction,
yeah.
and then we use it for content. We use it for I almost only use it for work. Like
Yeah.
I can be in a different state in an hour.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's real productive. So we get to do a lot of fun things. The kids love it. We go camping. It's a cool thing. Yeah.
It's really cool. I didn't realize you could fly state to state. Like,
Yeah, you can.
Does that make sense? I didn't think about it like that, but it's amazing. So you obviously we're in Ohio.
Yeah.
By the way, we're in his laundromat again, and I know this isn't the state, the city that you live in, but it's funny. You're making a lot of comments. Welcome to Ohio. It's really cool to me. It is a lot different, obviously, than California, where I grew up. But you grew up around here, right? Close
Yeah.
to here. You grew up in Ohio, so
Yeah, no, Ohio's kind of OG for you.
yeah. We've been out
You
here. A few
compete out
times.
here, yeah?
Yeah, our FaZe, our Call of Duty team used to compete out here. Used to come out here yearly.
That's right.
A couple times a year, maybe. Yeah. So I've been here a few times.
I remember, I didn't recognize anybody. I remember coming through the airport at some point when I was a small YouTuber, and everybody had FaZe backpacks.
Wow.
And like something like that. And I was like, man, I don't know who they are, but
Wow.
I remember that.
Wow. Now everyone's
crazy.
wearing Smile More.
Oh,
Hopefully both of us, FaZe and
yeah.
Smile More. But so I want to know a little bit about your childhood growing up in Ohio.
okay.
And again, like you, obviously, now 15 years later, you're very, successful. A lot of people, very well known. Even I was speaking to, your editor and cameraman. He was mentioning how like even he grew up in Ohio, and you're just well known in the state of Ohio, even from people that aren't necessarily fans of YouTube. So I know you probably don't want me to praise you too much, but you have had an amazing career. So how did your, I guess, childhood start? And did you grow up in a family that was well off? Not really. Can you share a little bit about that?
Man, I've been so blessed. I was blessed with a hardworking mother and father, and we were very poor until I was about 17. We grew up in the flea market world every weekend, doing flea markets, collecting dollars. My childhood home until I was 16, 17, had holes in the floor. You could see the gravel under the house. I remember every single night, nobody believes me when I tell this, every single night we would go to the bathroom. It's dark. You'd step on slugs, like slugs in our house, like crawling through our laundry until I was 17 years old. So we grew up extremely poor. My father started a rope business. Became a little more successful once I was into my late teens. We moved into our first nice home when I was about 17, I think. So that kind of is where life started getting a little better for my whole family. But yeah, I grew up super poor, which I'm so blessed I did. I love that. I love that bring up. It just really shaped who I am now.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
Like, I know how to hustle. I know how to make a dollar. I know how to hit a flea market. I know how to sell merch outside my laundromat. I know all these things because of how I was raised.
Yeah.
It's a hustle. Like, life's a hustle. It's a video game.
I think especially if you grow up in that, you kind of get out of it. You kind of taste a lot of money, real money. It's probably motivating in one sense, but also seeing your parents. If you have hardworking parents, and like I was speaking to Rug about this too, and his parents came from overseas. My parents came from overseas, and they came with $100 in their pocket, and they kind of had no choice but to make it.
Yep.
I'm not shocked that your parents had those values, because obviously you being 15 years in, you're one of the hardest working YouTubers that we've seen, still making content. And again, Laundromat, and we're gonna get to all the stuff that you've done on the side. So
yeah. So I just real quick want to throw in there. I remember a story. My parents used to metal detect to buy me and my brother diapers. So it's a real thing, dude. The hustle's real.
That's
and
insane.
It's just crazy. You just never know where you're gonna be.
Yeah.
I'll be out and you see a very poor family with kids that barely have shoes on, and people feel so bad. And I, fortunately, I look at these kids like they have just as good a chance as anybody, maybe better, because I was that kid.
Yeah.
So when I look at a kid like that, I actually have so much more hope. It's such great motivation. I know it sounds terrible, but man, I see it every day, and I'm like, that was me.
Yeah.
I was that kid.
No, I mean,
So
it is inspiring for people that are in that position. And
absolutely,
and
man.
again, it doesn't sound bad. I mean, you grew up, you did it. You had that childhood.
I was the super poor little kid, and man, everybody's got a shot. You just got to want it.
I get inspired by your work ethic again, even now, which I'm going to ask you about soon, about even till this day still uploading. 'Cause obviously, you don't need to be uploading YouTube videos anymore, right?
No.
But I know there's something in you that is you've had since you were a kid, it seems like. So
Yeah.
when you were a kid, right? I guess before you said until you were like 17, 18 is when you guys started maybe making money. Were you a part of your dad's rope business, or did you have different first jobs, or what did you do as a kid?
Yeah, I worked at Rope Factory since I could walk.
Wow.
I mean, he had, it's probably before child labor laws, but no, we just grew up in a family business. It's a lot like today's family business. You know, the whole family's got to chip in, and everybody's got to do their part, and that's how I was brought up, man. They'd pick me up from school, we'd go straight to that factory
Wow.
and slap labels on rope, and that was my life, which taught me a lot, man. Watching mom and dad work so hard physically with their hands taught me to work physically with my hands. It's like, okay, I'm super poor as a kid. Now mom and dad has found a little success. They've never been rich, but they've found success. They got us a new home,
Yeah.
right? So in my head, okay, you work hard to get that.
Yeah.
So it's just built into me that you work hard for what you want. There's no shortcuts. You got to just go all in.
Yeah.
There is no tired. There
Yeah.
is no tired. You sleep next time. And we just keep grinding.
It's amazing.
I don't know what to say.
No, I mean,
Just keep
that's
grinding.
amazing because you lived that. You're not just
Yeah.
saying that, you've lived that, and it's
Yeah.
been apparent even in your adulthood. So
Thank you.
that's amazing. So did you do other things though? Did you play sports? I mean, in between working and school, were you a kid that did you play sports? Did you have different hobbies, or was it really just kind of work?
My only hobby was my BMX bike. I was obsessed with my bike. I was the little shithead in school. I hated school, man. I mean, I'm not kidding. From the time I understood school in general as a kid in elementary school, I just didn't pay attention.
Wow.
I didn't pay attention. In junior high, even in junior high, I was telling all my teachers, I don't care about this. I don't care if I get an F because I'm going to make videos for a living. And back then, that was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
it's
was
so
that?
ridiculous.
What year?
So to tell you how crazy that is, YouTube came out in 2006.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2001.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
gonna
it-
say. You're saying
to,
that in
to
junior
ma-
high.
to make videos wasn't a thing, but it was like I was watching BMX videos. I was watching this stuff. I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. And never once in my life considered it made me money.
Wow.
That's just what I wanted to do. So I remember my teacher saying, well, how are you gonna make money doing that? I just remember I never even thought of that. I never even thought once about that. So once school was over, it was like, okay, now's your chance. Make your videos. You're not going to college. You've got nothing now, so go make your videos. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. So I went full time in that rope factory for 9 years.
Wow.
Worked full time Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. twice a week, and 8 to 5 the rest of the week.
Wow.
So did that for 9 years. Made stupid videos as a hobby.
Yeah.
Years and years went by, and a buddy of mine was like, you should put these on YouTube.
No, so you weren't even posting that.
I didn't even know what YouTube was. He's like, you should put these on YouTube. I was like, all right, whatever. And so I started putting them on YouTube. No views, 0 views for years. And then, I don't know what clicked to where I was just like, you know what, I'm going to take YouTube serious. And it's probably back in the Shane Dawson days and the days of these guys that were just like always on the front page of YouTube making stupid videos.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, I make stupid videos. I could get on the front page of YouTube. This is before money. Still couldn't make money on YouTube, but the front page of YouTube was cool. So I was like, I could do this. And man, it was hard. So I dedicated 3 years to YouTube, made, I think it was 58 cents in 3 years. And eventually, through blood, sweat, and tears, that 58 cents just started snowballing, and all of a sudden I was making more money than I was at the rope factory. But I was still going to the rope factory because that's all I knew. It was my safety net.
Yeah.
I was so afraid to not go there. It's like, this YouTube thing could end tomorrow. Mom and Dad set me down one day and they said, you have to stop coming here.
Wow.
You have to stop coming here. You need to focus on YouTube full time.
Wow.
That's probably 4 years into YouTube at that point.
Wow.
Maybe 5. And that was my last day at the rope factory. And from there, it all exploded. I mean, this.
Yeah.
Nothing went like this. It was, it just all started snowballing into all of a sudden I'm paying my rent, I'm paying my bills, I'm paying my people that are helping me to make YouTube videos. And that was sick.
Yeah.
That was sick.
I mean, that's the fact that your parents came to you and
Oh,
told
they
you to
made
get
me.
out of here.
They made me. They were
'Cause
like, "What's up?"
you know, in my head, naturally, it's like there's the two options where the parents are very understanding, or you know, it's a family business and it's like they get offended. You know, in some cultures, maybe some different types of parents.
Absolutely.
People don't get it. That's amazing that they were not only supportive, but they pushed you
Oh,
out.
man.
Like, get out of the rope factory.
Mom and Dad has been just such a gift to me through all this. So it's been fun, and I've got to now, you know, reward
Yeah.
my whole family with cool things and cars, and
Yeah.
it's all turned into something really great. But man, it was all mystery at that time, and I think the dedication, the patience. I tell my viewers all the time, you have to be patient. We're talking like maybe 5 years in
Yeah.
to living it before I started to pay bills.
No, yeah.
You know, 3 of those years you couldn't even make money yet. So it was like I was just doing it for fun, and it was a real hobby. So.
That's amazing.
Turned into
And
business.
it makes sense now. Hearing this from you makes sense because from a viewer's perspective with Smile More, which we'll get to, with just you are very family based. Feels like you bring everyone in. So now it makes sense if that was how your family business was. If you grew up in that type of environment where everyone was like a team,
Yeah.
gives a lot of context, I think, to
Yeah,
people
that's
that
cool.
saw
Yeah.
you. So how much do you think you were making when you made that jump? You know, you said you made 58 cents for the first 3 years. So
Yeah.
when it was, you know, after that, 5 years in, were you making like a normal salary maybe? What were you at where it was like, all right, get out of the rope factory and go take this serious?
It was so random at that time because my videos were so random. It's like it's not like it is now where every video gets the same amount of views. It's like maybe I had a viral prank that week or that month, so the income was higher. But it was super random. And pranks never paid much money, so
Yeah.
I remember like losing my mind the first time I made like $3,000 on YouTube. Like that was insane to me.
Yeah.
I'd actually never had $3,000 in my bank account up to that point.
You did that in 1 month.
9 years I worked in that factory, never had $3,000 in my bank account. So when I remember hitting $3,000, I lost my mind. I was like, this is impossible. Like I'm rich. Like I literally thought I was rich.
Yeah.
And then that trickled up to maybe 7, and then 10, and you know, this is a long period of time, but that all snowballed into this crazy career and success. And you know, obviously my brand plays a major role in where I'm at today.
People, especially now, you know, I have kids in my local community that like want to be YouTubers, want to
Yeah.
be streamers, and again, it's oversaid and people don't really understand it, but they think it's really that simple. It's an overnight thing. But
Yeah.
back when, especially when you started, you're saying you want to make videos before YouTube even existed. You know, you were there definitely before channels were being monetized. So you're a perfect example of the story of it takes. Maybe it took you. If I could say, it probably took you like a decade before you started making the type of money people think that every YouTuber makes. You know what I'm saying? And
Probably close.
Yeah.
Probably seven years. Dude, I don't know if you definitely remember. You used to have to apply for monetization.
Yeah.
And then you had to wait. I think it was 3 or 6 months if you got denied.
So crazy.
I got denied,
Oh, really?
so that was painful. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll never make money on this platform.
Wow.
That's just the nature of the beast. That's your resistance to keep pushing right there.
For sure. So, you know, you went from 3 to 7. I'm assuming the vlog channel was really where the money started coming in on YouTube.
Yeah.
To your point, pranks, short videos usually don't make that much money.
Yeah, although my prank channel had become super successful, the money wasn't successful. I mean, it was to us at that time. It was very financially, and the views were crazy, and the fan base was crazy. But it wasn't until pranks got saturated, I started warning everybody, like, guys, got to jump ship. We got to do something else.
Yeah.
I'm doing something else. I'm not staying in the prank game. It's saturated. Everybody's faking now. It's so crazy. Somebody's going to get shot and killed eventually, right?
Yeah.
I got laughed at for that for a while. And I was like, dude, I'm going to start daily vlogging. Jesse Wellens from Prank vs. Prank, who was crushing it back then. He was the first person that said, you should start daily vlogging. And I waited a year after he told me that to start. I started with my wife. I was like, you know what? Let's just do this. I want to be a family man. I was rated R back then. Hard.
Yeah.
Hard, dude.
And I
was
know
like,
that. I've seen your first video.
yeah, and I'm like, you know what? My kids are growing up. I don't want this.
Yeah.
I don't want what I want to do is really who I am.
Yeah.
And I thought I had to be rated R for the internet.
Yeah.
Look, I still like dropping the F-bomb every once in a while, but for YouTube and for my family, I don't. So I was like, you know what? Everybody's out here in LA. Everybody's videos look exactly the same. I'm gonna stay in Ohio, build a cool backyard, raise a family, and I'm gonna film daily. And man, was that shocking to everybody. Rated R pranks, super viral, 100 million views on a prank, right? To now you're gonna leave and make these family videos that are PG, like super PG. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think it took a year before that channel completely outran the prank channel totally.
Wow.
Completely.
Completely different audience too.
Completely. And that became my success. The vlog channel became my major success and just changed my life forever. I dropped the Smile More brand through there and just went crazy.
Yeah.
Just hit a whole nother level of success and finances, and I was able to be with my family all day. It was like a major gift.
Yeah.
Major gift.
And that's amazing. And again, a lot of hard work
Oh man.
went up to that point. I love to reiterate because, you know, I don't want to disencourage people from trying to chase the dream of being a YouTuber or streamer, but I also want people to understand it's not as simple as they may think. Because, you know, nowadays there are people that go viral overnight. You know, you see it on TikTok, you see it, but it's not the typical case. The typical case is someone like yourself who spent 5 to 10 years to build it up. So starting with 58 cents for 3 years, starting with 3,000, 4,000, and, you know, having to quit your job. I think that's one of that moment of when someone realizes I make enough money to be able to quit my job, especially for an older, you know, someone who's older. Me, I started when I was 14, so I never had another job.
Yeah.
Which is another, you know, it's like that's a blessing in some ways, but in other ways it's like, you know, I'm happy, you know, I'm blessed with my life, period. But like, there's definitely experience I missed out on by not working another job, like yourself, right?
Yeah.
Or other YouTubers that people worked a lot of different jobs. So I have a different view on the world because I started my adulthood on YouTube.
Yeah, man.
But at the same time, I also know that that's a very unique situation. Most people are not gonna start like that. So like, I feel like I have an obligation when the younger, kids speak to me, like, no, like, it's not that simple. You're not gonna just start making thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Well, we live in a different time, right? Now people start YouTube only for money.
Yeah, exactly.
So the OGs, the old YouTubers, is like, there was no money. You started it because you enjoyed making content. And, you know, I always say that. Do what you love, and money's the byproduct of what you love. So if you don't love it and you're doing it just for money, it's probably going to be miserable.
Yeah.
You're not going to make it through that 3-year war zone.
Yeah.
Right?
No, for sure.
The resistance is too heavy. You're going to just fall. But if you love it, the money really doesn't matter.
Yep.
Because it's your passion.
Yep.
So patience is key. And I want to just say this because it's helped me a lot. Through my life, everything great has happened right after I've given up twice. The resistance gets so much, there's so much in your way to success. And every time you want to quit, just go 2 more times. It's like, I'm done, I quit. And then you do it again tomorrow. And then you hit that next point. It's just like, you're done, you're absolutely done. Go 1 more time. It's usually where all my successes hit. In fact, it's almost proven at this point.
Wow.
I quit YouTube twice right before I blew up.
Wow.
Fully quit. Done. Not uploading again. I started uploading.
Even now you're
But
uploading.
almost with everything I've done, man. Almost everything I've done, greatness happened right after I wanted to quit. So
Wow.
you got to just power through it, push through it. Let your passion just do the drive.
It's amazing advice. Again, if you have a passion, as I get older, if you have something that you're that passionate about, you have to chase it. Because like, you know, for me, when I kind of got over making videos, like there was really nothing I was super passionate about.
Yeah.
And it's not, you know, there's the dream of certain careers or whatever. If you're able to mix passion with work and you're able to actually, you know, establish a family and take care of yourself based on a passion, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
It's major gift.
I could see why you push through,
Yeah.
but still it's not easy. It's amazing advice. Speaking about money though, I guess, you know, one part of the show I love to is to also open people's eyes. I have this in another series I'm be doing. We're kind of, you know, if you grew up in this world, you understand the money that flies around. But a lot of people really are not.
Yeah.
They would be shocked if they heard how much money people can make. So if you would be willing to share, speaking of YouTube, saying that you did start off, it did take you a decade to get to this point, but what was one of your higher months on YouTube? Just YouTube ad revenue. I'll say the highest month, if you could think of, or just that ballpark, I guess, of when you're at your peak of YouTube.
Yeah, so I think, I know a lot of people say YouTube doesn't pay as much now. I think they pay more now. But in my prime, I remember, this is going to sound crazy, but I remember doing a lot of months, $500,000 in just ad revenue. And that was, no brand deals, no merch, no.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was really wild. But that was back when I was doing, every upload was 3 to 6 million a day, every single day.
Yeah, no.
That now is
Oh my gosh.
absurd amount of money.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Not that wasn't.
No, that's it.
Like
that
coming
is
from from the Rope Factory to $500,000 a month was unreal.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't have written it in a book. Like
Yeah.
if they were like, "What do you want?" I would have never put $500,000 a month.
Yeah.
I'd been like, 5,000 a month would just set me up.
Yeah.
Right. So I never expected that life ever. You add merch into that. I mean, merch was one of our biggest revenue streams. Still is. Merch is. I tell every creator, I get mad at creators when they don't have merch.
Yeah.
Like you're leaving money, not only money on the table, but your fans want to support you. They want to rep you.
Yeah.
So merch for me was super important.
Obviously, Smile More.
Yeah.
It's not just, YouTubers do have merch.
Yeah.
But yours is different, right? Like you built a brand. So first off, where did the idea come from? And when did you make the decision to not make Roman Atwood merch? Because that was, if anyone was doing merch,
Yeah.
it was based on their name or their brand. So
Yeah.
what made you think about making your own separate
I
brand?
always hated that idea. Hated. I remember dropping a couple shirts with my name on it, and I hated them. Okay, where do I start? Smile More fully was created at the Rope Factory. Because on my lunch breaks, I would be driving to Wendy's, Taco Bell, wherever I could get $3 worth of food, telling myself, everything's awesome, you feel great, keep smiling, smile more. I would just be in my head, literally faking myself out. And you can't believe how effective that is. By the end of my lunch break, I feel good, go back in, knock out the rest of my time, go home. I would do that forever, man. I feel like years I was just hyping myself up.
Wow.
Smile more, dude. You got this. Come on, let's go. And you'd feel better after doing that.
Wow.
Like you could actually pump myself up. So Smile More was created in the Rope Factory. Years and years and years later, I think I started saying it in a couple videos. Smile More. And then some people started commenting, like, dude, put that on a shirt. Put that on a shirt. So I was like, all right, that sounds cool. All these graphic guys, like, making all this complicated crap. I was like, I also grew up in the skateboarding scene. And I used to love drawing all the cool skateboard logos. So I was like, I need something that kids can draw by the hand. So I hopped on my computer, 20 minutes, made the Smile More logo. Like, it's so basic.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to be so simple that any kid could just draw it. Threw that up, didn't put it on a shirt. I actually started putting it at the end of my videos. I put the logo at the end of my videos. And it started catching on, man. The comments were just like, I love that logo. I love that saying. It's helping me. So a long time passed. I figured out how to put it on a shirt. Me and my wife ordered T-shirts, like locally, put them in our kitchen, and we released them. And that day, I don't remember, maybe 13 orders or something, which was crazy. I was like, 13 shirts, whatever. I don't remember the number, but my wife would handwrite all the addresses, put the stamps on the, and we did that for a long time.
Wow.
We went from maybe 13 shirts on that first day to our biggest day. I think we did 33,000 orders in a day.
Wow.
So we got that. That's a big gap, but I think that was our biggest day. 33,000 orders. One day.
And each shirt is about $15, $20.
It is a mix. I had so many products at that time, so it was a mix of everything. But we sold millions of T-shirts over the last decade. In fact, when I'm out in public now, you'd be surprised how many people don't say, "What's up, Roman?" It's like, Smile More. It's like, it's cool. Literally a brand that's, I'm just so proud of it. I love it. I live by it. And I think the viewers have always been able to see that. It's not something I just say. It's like something I actually live by. And I went through it, and it helped me. So
that story is amazing. That story of you kind of forcing yourself to smile in the car again. Like,
fake it till you make it, man. Like I did everything I could to keep a positive mental attitude, because as soon as that would slip, everything in my life would slip.
you very impressively, you know, you had your prank channel, you reinvented yourself into a vlog channel.
Yeah.
And even this brand, it's like obviously it came from your vlog channel in some capacity, but like it's whole other leg that it's standing on. It's really amazing. It's amazing that you were able to, you know, now we're sitting in the Smile More Laundromat.
I know,
which
dude.
is so cool.
I
too,
know.
right?
It's
Even
so
while
funny.
we were here, like a random fan came in. He just drove here from Chicago, he said. And he just I was just kind of hoping to run into you today.
I know,
like,
and he got you too. What a
yeah,
bonus,
yeah, he
dude.
recognized me too. It was cool.
That's
yeah.
cool.
But it's,
What a cool day to show up at a laundromat.
yeah, no, it is. It's really cool. But that, honestly, because you know, there's a lot on the internet. There's a lot of fake people, right? And there's a lot of things that are fake. So for someone like yourself to own a brand like Smile More, maybe there's some people that would assume. I don't know. There's just a lot of assumptions people can have, but knowing your actual story, in the rope factory, the work you put in to get to where you are, and then the fact that you're building that brand, and it's a positive brand, and you really live that. It's not just you putting on a fake. Because a lot of people have a character, they turn off the camera, and that's not them.
Bro, I got made fun of for everybody
Yeah.
for this brand. PewDiePie used to make videos making fun of this brand, you know. Keemstar used to make videos making fun of this brand. It's like the more positivity I put out, the more hate I got.
Crazy.
I never understood it, but at the end of the day, I just kept uploading. I never responded to anybody.
I think people just don't expect someone like yourself to really, they just probably think you're being ingenuine or fake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
I don't know.
That's amazing though. Your mindset, honestly, a lot of lessons to learn from your mindset. Because your point, I mean, as I got older, I feel like I've noticed that everything is mindset. Like I even feel like in sports, I feel like in any aspect of life, like you see an athlete, there's just like a point where like people start saying that they're not good anymore. And then, you know, everything goes down. And I'm just like, there's no way, like, nothing happened. It's really, like, Ben Simmons, not to hate on him specifically, but, like, it was very clear. Like, he had, like, he messed up at some point in his career, and everyone was talking about it, and I just feel like he kept making the same mistake over and over. And I just feel like it happens with athletes. It happens
That's with everybody.
in everything, yeah.
And the hard part about telling your viewers to try to live that way is it sounds so cliche.
That's the thing.
It does.
Yeah.
It
I
sounds
think that's
so.
what people assume. That's why they're making fun of you, probably.
It
They
sounds
assume
so
you're-
cheesy, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, be positive, smile more. But man, I've always tried to share what's helped me. That's it. I don't know if it's gonna help you.
Yeah.
I have no clue if it's gonna help you, but I know it helped me.
Yeah.
And I kind of share all my life lessons. I try to, you know, with my new channel, I'm trying to be as real and as open and just being like vulnerable and just, I always say, I don't know if my experience is going to help you, but I'm going to share it with you, and I hope it does. That's it. You know, I was 28
Yeah.
when I was starting to grow on YouTube. So I'm 41 now.
Wow.
So I'm not a young bird. Just
Yeah.
like I'm a YouTuber. Like, dude, it's
Yeah.
like another lifetime ago I was doing that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You're giving me definitely some motivation because I'm 28 now. I was 14 when I started. And, you know, I feel like, again, it's all I ever knew, right? FaZe and YouTube is all I ever knew. It's been half of my life. So for me, when I kind of stopped in the last few years when FaZe, our brand started getting a little shaky, I kind of felt like everything was over and like, oh my God, my life's over in some
Yeah.
capacity. But even hearing from you that you started at 28.
Dude, yeah, I was almost 30.
Yeah.
I was literally 30 when I had any money.
Yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
It's wild. So the people watching might be 18.
Yeah.
You know, I think Gary Vee said it. He's like, you could fail for the next 10 years and still be way younger than me.
It's crazy, yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
you have so much time. Everyone's in such a rush, and I think that causes a lot of failure because you don't have patience. But
And,
if you,
and comparing to other people, right? These
Yeah.
guys are younger and they're already so well off. or-
Yeah.
It's a, you know, it's a disease in some capacity.
It
It's
is,
just always-
absolutely.
But to your point, like we're always looking for a reason to make that we can't do it. We're always looking for a reason to like like it would be nice to be this and that, but this is why I can't. I have this job. Or
you
I'm
know
too
why?
old,
Because
or-
you know how easy it is to sit on the couch.
yeah, it is.
Do you know how
very
easy it is to make excuses? You know how easy it is to eat bad food? Everything that holds us back is easy.
Yeah.
If you want it, it's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done, but the most rewarding. So if you want that reward, it's going to be hard. There's nothing in my life that's been just easy.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, even
It's
seeing
hard.
you here today, like, I just see you going around talking to the customers here. You're filming your vlog while you're doing it. You're meeting fans. You're here filming this with me, which I really appreciate. Again, you have 4 kids.
Yes.
Like, even for someone, you guys heard the numbers. He's saying $500K a month, and that's just YouTube revenue, right? That's nothing else. And it's like, clearly he doesn't need to be sitting here right now if he didn't want to, right? So, like,
I'd be flying my helicopter right now, bro. No, I'm kidding. But
I
no, if you want to go
but
fly,
you
we
could.
can.
But you really, again, you live it. Like, you really live it. And
No, I like it.
I've spent very little time with you, but I've seen how genuine you are. So, I mean, even myself, I don't know. Like, you never really know till you meet someone.
Yeah.
And there's other YouTubers I've met, again, that are not who they portray online. So I feel like that's kind of the default to a lot of people. But it's been really cool to see.
Awesome, man.
the
I
opposite
appreciate
of
that.
you,
I appreciate that. Yeah.
So even I want to just quickly go back to Smile More, because
Cool.
you started talking about how your rope factory was like a family business.
Yep.
And Smile More became that too, right? From my
Yes.
understanding, you brought in a lot of family members to help
Yep.
kind of run the operation. Can you speak about that a little bit?
Yeah, Yeah, I think at one point we had some parts of the year we'd have 3 shifts. There's like 18
Wow.
employees all working out of our home. We built a building on our property that was all Smile More. But it went from like our kitchen living room to we found a house with a basement, and then our merch company was in our basement. And I'll send you some pictures if you want to drop them
Yeah,
in.
please. Yeah.
We started with like these little totes of like small, medium, large, like 20 shirts in each. And
So good.
and then we went on to like literally ordering. We would have to pre-order, tens of thousands of T-shirts at a time to just fulfill orders. It was chaos, but it was all family members, friends, cousins. I focused hard on daily vlogs. My wife ran the day-to-day Smile More operation, so we had this solid team of
Yep.
just family thriving. My quote has always been keep it small, keep it all. I don't like to bring a lot of people in on my projects. I like to keep it very tight. My family, friends. So Smile More it was really just like everybody helping when they could. It was fun, man. I really enjoyed it. And we've moved the whole company to Texas. I'm now a co-owner with Bunker Branding. We print merch for 40 different influencers.
Wow. Amazing.
And Smile More now is fully operated in Texas out of Bunker Branding. Amazing facility. And I'm a co-owner with Matt from Demolition Ranch, who started the company. And we just print merch for influencers now. And it is a dope setup.
That's awesome.
I love it.
So you're still fully just selling Smile More online. You never went into any stores with it. A lot of people, maybe they'll go with like Zoomies, right? Or
Yeah.
they'll go like Walmart or Target.
Yeah, at that time, we couldn't make more money in retail versus online. Our online sales were so big that it made no sense.
What was a
was
typical
just-
month?
I guess what I'm saying is like the cuts.
Yeah.
Keep it small, keep it all. If I sell it, I keep all the profit.
Yeah.
If I bring in stores and Target and you name it, which by the way, they were all dropping Smile More merch knockoffs. That
Really?
we had to go to freaking lawsuits, and
Oh man.
we spent 2 years with like Walmart and Target, won both cases. Smile More, believe it or not, is miserably hard to trademark. Miserably hard. It's very vague. Smile More, it's just 2 common words. In fact, we were actually sued that no person can own 2 vague words. And I spent $150,000 with lawyers. I love this brand so much. I fought all my money. In fact, it was so scary. It was so scary because not only could I lose my trademark, I could lose my whole business. My whole Smile More company could be at stake. So I went all in, 150 grand, I think, on a lawyer to fight this case. It was a full-blown, they want to strip me of my trademark so they can sell the merch. Of course they want to sell it. It's popular right now.
Yeah.
I think that whole process took like a year plus, and I won. And then I hit the no contest stage, which I can't remember how many years that was. Let's just say crazy number, 10 years. Once you hit a certain year of a trademark, you hit a no contest stage. So nobody can no longer contest my trademark.
Okay.
I own Smile More.
Amazing.
In any shape or form, which I went to war for.
Wow. Okay.
Tons of money went into protecting that mark. And these are the little things that as a business owner, you just never know. You never know you're going to have that battle. So, yeah, Smile More is my baby. It still is. We sell it online. and we sell all the merch that didn't go to Texas right here at the laundromat.
Yeah, I was just
That
looking at
is
some of
all leftover merch from years ago,
Wow.
and we sell it for $10. All shirts, all hats are $10. So it's
That's
something
awesome.
fun for locals to just come in, grab a couple tees for the family, and bounce. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Amazing. And now again, now we're in the laundromat.
Yeah.
Smile more. We don't have to go too deep, I guess, into it. But how did this come about? To get a laundromat and throw the branding on there again. That you went from just selling shirts, now you're cleaning them, right?
yeah. This one's funny. How did I have a freaking laundromat?
Yeah.
So, I had just recently purchased a car wash. I always wanted a car wash. My grandpa said, hey, when you grow up, if you want to make money, buy a car wash.
That's another thing, by the way. He's like, oh, my car wash is like 20 minutes down there. I'm like, all right, we gotta go stop by the car wash too.
So, I told my wife, I was like, hey, start looking for properties on the lake. The lake is like, we have a local lake, Buckeye Lake. It's been developing, and the value's been going up. I said, find a property on the lake. I want to buy it. So she's looking at properties constantly on the lake, and randomly, the only car wash on the lake comes up for sale.
Wow.
And she like sends it to me immediately. She's like, the car wash is for sale. I'm like, we're buying it. So we go, we look at it. I pay cash for this car wash, by the way. It made more sense to pay cash. The cash flow on this car wash is not that much. It's more for me owning a property on the lake. That's what I want. I want to own real estate on the lake. So I cash paid on that. It's like right under $400,000 for the car wash. It's a little mom and pop car wash.
Okay.
But 3 weeks later, my wife, who's very good friends with the owner of this laundromat, she went to school and grew up with the daughter of the owner of this laundromat. So they're all hanging out, and she mentions we bought a car wash. He hears this. The owner of the laundromat hears that and said, oh, you should buy my laundromat if you like quarters. So that day, she texts me right away. She's like, hey, Randy's got a laundromat for sale. And I was like, interesting. And
Now you're just having fun at that point.
It all came because of the car wash purchase.
Wow.
So I'll also always say this: you never know where you're going to end up, and you have to always be doing things for more opportunity to come up. He wants to retire really bad, and if you ever look at how to buy a laundromat the right way, you have to find people that are desperate for retirement. They're done. They've worked it for 30 years. They're tired. They deserve to retire. They've worked hard.
Yeah.
So he made us a killer deal on this laundromat. The cash flow is fantastic. So this is actually our first loan ever.
Oh, wow.
We got a loan for this. It made more sense with more cash flow to let the bank cover it. Everything else in our life we've paid cash for. Everything. Our home, all our properties, the car wash, our cars, helicopter, whatever, we pay cash. This is our first business. It's like, you know what? The cash flow is high. Let's finance it. So we did that, and that's been real interesting for me. I don't believe paying cash for things is the right way. I've just always been too scared to lose everything, so that I've paid cash, knowing I can pay for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I never had money, so now that I do, I'm still scared to lose it, which is very common with people that have never had money. So my theory is if I can't pay for it cash, don't buy it. So the more I'm learning, I'm not no financial guru.
Yeah.
The more I'm learning is like, if the cash flow is great, let the bank freaking pay for it. So that's what we did with this place, and it's been interesting. It's been fun. That's how we ended up with the laundromat. And day one, not kidding, first week, all 3 AC units went out. $32,000 we had to cough up from our own pocket for that.
Oh, man.
ACs
ACs are not cheap, especially in something like this.
We put it was $32,000.
Crazy.
$32,000. We got a great deal, honestly. Had to put a brand new roof on it, which I did carve out in the loan.
Okay.
Pre-buying it, we knew they had some roof issues, so that was part of the loan. And from there, we're just making it a fun place, man.
Yeah.
It's a fun place for locals, fun place people are driving from all over the country to stop in.
It's now a fun
You
place
saw it
for
today.
the vlog, right?
Somebody showed up they drove from Chicago just to walk in here.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. It feels like a little show in our daily videos,
Yeah.
and it's got a great vibe. We're in Newark, Ohio, which is in itself an amazing place for content.
Yeah.
Just real life people, just down to earth, and it's been fun.
That's really cool. So I feel like it's like you're in a fun stage where it's just you have fun projects come up. It's kind of like a toy for you to kind of just buy. So the car wash was $400,000. How much was this about?
We got this. So I bought 2 laundromats. I got both of them for $700,000.
So you have another one.
No.
Okay.
I couldn't. This building I own.
Yeah.
I couldn't get, that one was in a leased building.
Okay,
and I just couldn't get them to play with the lease. They
Okay.
just weren't.
Got it.
I was like, I need a 10-year guarantee. They'd come back with a 3-year. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be on my knees in 3 years at your mercy.
Yeah.
So I bought every single machine out of that place.
Oh, wow.
Took it to my place. So now I have basically backup machine for everything here.
Wow, amazing.
So, yeah.
It's really cool. You got any other interesting things that you're thinking about getting next, or
So that's the next thought.
Yeah.
We're since we're doing daily content, it's like, what's the next fun content house? You know, this really has turned into like a movie set for us. Like look at us right now.
Yeah.
Look at we're
exactly.
shooting a podcast.
I know. I was like, you could go to your house, which is probably really cool, but the laundromat's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I can't get away from it. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. I'm happy here, and
That's good.
like you said, it really is just kind of like side projects and
it's I feel like it's cool too because you're maybe not necessarily in your hometown, but you're in the area you grew up in. You're kind of giving back in some way too. You're making business for the people here. You have a lot of locals coming. It's really cool. It's it's kind of a win-win overall.
Yeah.
And
We also have tanning here, so we have tanning beds as well. And my wife,
I did see the tanning on the sign. But I
my
didn't know
wife
what that
tanned
meant.
here her whole life.
No way.
So now-
At this specific one.
Yes, this building.
This is crazy.
So it's kind of
The-
funny. And the car wash I own, I washed my car there my whole life.
The thing is that
So,
like
you
a
never
lot of
know.
the things in your life, I feel like I don't know what the word is, but like there's like a certain point as you got older where it's like all like there's like those moments where, like for example, we were just talking about before, but there's like this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Him and his wife were watching some home videos, and then when they were both kids, there's this clip of them both in the exact same shot at a water park, right?
Yeah, dude.
Which is one of the craziest
Festival.
things I've ever seen.
Blew our minds.
Yeah, that is like because you didn't know her until your adulthood.
Yeah.
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 They just were randomly watching home videos and saw each other in the same exact frame.
Unbelievable.
But I feel like you have a lot of stuff like that. Like even the fact that okay, she came to this tanning shop, you got it. You
Right.
wanted the car wash, it popped up on the. Like it's pretty.
I actually have to be insanely careful about what comes out of my mouth. I'm not kidding. I make jokes and they happen almost immediately, dude.
Man. Make a
So-
joke about this podcast.
So
you know, like
so when people say like, speak it into existence.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
incredibly true, positive and negative.
Yeah.
I have to be very careful about what I say.
So interesting.
That's
yeah.
why when you say you should buy the donut shop next door,
Yeah.
I have to be very
You
careful
did say
about
that,
because I will
yeah.
end up with it
Yeah.
somehow. It's weird, man.
You
It's
did.
very-
You did make that exact comment. You didn't go into it, but you said that. You said, I can't say that out loud." So,
I know.
I mean, man. I mean, again, going back to how important, like mindset, and how important it is to be positive and say positive things. Like you've seen it in your life, so I can't blame you for thinking that way.
Yeah.
It's been a proof. A lot of things in your life have been a proof to that. I like that quote you said, by the way. You said, "Keep it small, keep it all."
Keep it small, keep it all.
That's a really cool quote, by the way.
I think it's very important for people.
But you have a lot of things that you're doing, and that people just don't realize.
Off the radar.
Yeah, which is the best way to do it. Now I'm here trying, asking you probably too many questions, so I apologize.
No, not at all.
But it's really
no,
cool.
I'm-
You're probably like one of the most diversified, like
I have some weird crap.
quote unquote YouTubers out there. Yeah, I don't even want to call you a YouTuber. I feel like it's really cool. It's really cool to hear.
Yeah, and to think like I know you're probably not gonna ask about this, but what I might end up making more money than anything on is property. My wife and I have bought a bunch of land, property, farm fields and, rental properties and
Mostly in Ohio.
yeah, all right here.
Yeah.
But just so happens we just got Intel in, which is bringing all the value through the roof. So our land, okay, I'll give you a great example. There's a property down the street from me for sale. $4 million, 28 acres. Okay? That's high. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot of land though.
I have a field sitting right now that I bought. Me and Brittany bought cash, $500,000, 60 acres down the street.
Wow.
It's a guaranteed $5 million property right now
Wow.
on a $500,000 investment.
When did you buy that? How long ago?
Right before COVID.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just 10x your money in 4 years.
Yeah, imagine another 4 years.
Yeah. So
Land.
you have intel of there's like a reason the property's shooting up here.
Yeah, just supply and demand. They
Yeah.
don't make more property.
Yeah.
So if you can get your hands on any property,
I mean, yeah. After COVID, everything went up, but
Yeah.
that's a lot.
dude, it's
That's
absurd.
amazing,
It's
yeah.
absurd. Property is one of my favorite investments right now to everything. I love it. It sits. You don't have to slap an out of order sign on it.
Yep.
You don't have to do anything. You pay the property tax, which I lease to a farmer who covers all them taxes.
Wow.
Agriculture breaks because you farm it. So it's just a win-win. Property,
That's advice.
it's also one of the hardest to get your hands on.
For
right?
sure.
If I needed to get a loan on that property, now I'd have a mortgage on it and a property tax, which would hurt a little more. So I get it. I'm just speaking about things I invest in that are absolute bangers.
Yeah, Rug.
Properties.
You know, when I did an interview with Rug, and his main thing was property too. So yeah, I didn't even think about it with you.
Yeah.
So that is your
Land,
from
dirt.
what do you think about it? Your whole portfolio. Property is your like thing that you think has the most.
It's like once you start owning things like this,
Yeah.
you have employees, you have maintenance, you have extreme costs, you have taxes, you have all these things that don't apply to a chunk of land that just sits. Think of it like a bank account with crazy interest,
Yeah.
right? You put your money in, and now the interest is just climbing like crazy. And I very rarely ever see dirt devalue.
Yeah.
Property just doesn't devalue.
Doesn't. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
They
I think,
don't make more.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
Yeah. That's
So if you can get
crazy.
your hands on dirt, I know a lot of people like commercial real estate. If you can rent square footage right now, it's very valuable. I don't personally own any. I have like retail rentals, but even that, not that profitable.
So
you
it's
know?
kind of, I mean, stuff like this again. It has to be something like this has to be something that you have multiple reasons for wanting to buy. Like it's gonna be fun for the brand. It's gonna be fun for the vlogs. Because if you
Yeah.
really want to just get the best return for your money, it's probably you're saying probably property.
Yeah, but it's also hardest to get.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay,
It's hard.
yeah.
It's hard. It is. That one is for accumulate some success first, then start looking into
Yeah,
land.
for
It's a
sure.
tough one.
You know, you have a lot of really, really cool projects that you've invested in, you've bought, you've partnered in.
Sure.
Most YouTubers, it's just ad revenue,
Yeah.
brand deals, and merch, if merch. So brand deals, it's funny because it seems like brand deals are really not anything we haven't even really touched on other than, okay, you had G Fuel for a little bit.
Sure.
But did you do many brand deals? Was that a big source of revenue for you in the past?
Here's what happened with my brand deals. This is just honest.
Yeah.
I would lose money on a brand deal, no matter what they paid. Even if they paid me $100,000 to shout them out, I did them. I did some, but I would actually make more that day if I shouted out Smile More. So if I took the brand for $100,000, I'd lose 20-30% to my manager who's taking a cut. So let's say I take $70,000. If I shout out Smile More that day and I did some type of drop, we would make more.
Wow.
So I'd actually be kicking my own company if I didn't just focus on my own company. So eventually, and we did plenty of brand deals. In early days, brand deals really helped us and shape us. And, to this day, I think we're 160 days in a row and we maybe have done one on this channel.
Okay.
I'm just trying to keep it just raw and real.
Yeah.
Not saying I won't do them, but for me, I've always actually had more value in shouting my own companies out.
Yeah.
So if I spent a day shouting out another company, I would lose longevity money. It's
Yeah.
weird.
No,
I'll
man,
explain that.
It is a interesting concept. Obviously, it's very unique to you.
It's unique,
Not
right?
a lot of
Yeah.
people have that. Maybe like Logan, I can think of his Maverick brand. I mean, when you're saying you're selling 30 in your top day, 30,000 orders,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Insane.
That's like a month maybe for a hot brand.
Yeah.
If not even a month, that's crazy for a month.
Yeah.
So it makes sense in your situation, but that just shows how big that brand is, because you can't really like. I feel like calling it merch or referring it as just like that kind of is like downplaying. That is like a whole nother business.
It is. It
That's
really
amazing.
is.
So I mean that makes sense. I mean most YouTubers make the bulk of their money in brand deals. I feel like
For
outside
sure.
of ad revenue.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
If you don't, absolutely, and it should be actually. You're shouting these brands out. That's a big value there.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense.
And-
I was in that unique spot where I actually make more if I support my own companies.
That's a win-win again.
Yeah,
It's really a win-win.
It just started to make more sense on doing that.
No stress. Also
and
having to like
keep it small, keep it all.
Yeah, no, 100%.
My management's not taking cuts.
No, it's amazing.
Nobody's ever owned Smile More but me. So
Again, I think a lot of people want to be in that position, and a lot of people try, and a lot of people don't really succeed. But
no.
you got to find your niche, and your brand really took off for the reason it was unique to the sense that you wasn't just Roman Atwood merch. It wasn't just the same thing, which I've done, my fair share of selling that type of merch too. That's just a logo and you just slap it on. Even FaZe merch, it's a little different, right? But like,
but that's a
it's
brand.
A hard thing.
Everyone knows what that is.
Yeah, for sure.
It's your Nike swoosh, dude. You got to create your own Nike swoosh.
Smile More is that for you as well.
I despise the idea of somebody wearing my name. I don't know why. I didn't feel like I was a NASCAR driver or a country star I always strive to have a logo that grandma could wear or a 4-year-old could wear. I wanted a brand that the whole world could wear, whether you know me or not. That was always my focus on Smile More. It was like, even if I disappeared tomorrow, somebody can still rock a Smile More product.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with Roman Atwood.
Yeah.
And that's why I always tried to create my brand separately from me. Right?
Really
Obviously, it's tied to me a bit. You'd be surprised how many people I'm hopping on an airplane. Someone's like, "Oh, I love that shirt."
Yeah.
They have no clue who I am.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I remember with FaZe too, when we were building FaZe, that was like my dream. Which early on didn't seem like there was ever going to be a time that was going to be the case where people would know the logo and not know myself and the other guys that lived there. But now,
what a great accomplishment.
Yeah, now it's like, everybody. Are you part of the FaZe rug thing?
Yeah.
This is my favorite question. I love rug. And
Rug's epic.
Rug's got the whole audience, but like now the whole new FaZe, there's like a bunch of people, and it's cool. It's a good place to be. Like as much as it's nice to be fully upfront in your face being there.
Yeah.
When you do want to take a step back, you don't want everything to pause with you. So it's amazing that you're able to build it in that way.
Yeah, that was always important.
Yeah. So last thing I'll ask you about around all these things, because again, I just think it's I have to ask because you've done so many different things. You have so many experiences. But another thing you've done is movies and TV shows, right? So you've done 2 movies. No, well, you did Natural Born Prankster. Right?
Yeah.
You forgot.
I'm trying to think of 2.
You had the Natural Born Prankster, and then you had the YouTube originals, not a movie, but you had that show.
Yeah, the show.
How were those? How was the experience on that? Because I'll say for myself, I've been on like a set a few times. I filmed a commercial before, and it was like, dude, I spent like 10 hours there, and I was in the commercial for 1 second.
Yeah.
And it was like, I cannot believe people do this.
Honestly,
horrible.
Horrible. I hate it. That's why I never did it again. But no, the movie was fun. I got to do it with just a bunch of great guys, and it was really just fun.
Yeah.
It created daily content. The show, which was beautiful, and we did amazing things, and we helped so many real people.
The show was amazing. Yeah.
It was actually amazing, but I went to war over that show because I'm a daily vlogger running around with my camera on hyper speed, and all of a sudden, I can't really film any of this because it gives the show away, and it's 45 minutes for the camera guys to get slated in. I'm like, you already missed everything.
Yeah.
So I went to war. I was like, you guys need to be holding cameras and ready at all times because I move fast.
Yeah.
And if we get a reaction, it needs to happen.
Yeah.
Instead of, don't walk in yet because we're not rolling, we're not slated in, sound's not ready, your mic's not on. I'm like losing my mind for months.
Yeah.
So that one was incredibly rough for me, but at the end of the day, after I saw the show, I was so happy with it. I thought it was beautiful.
Well, that show was different. That show was like you helped a lot of people in it, and I'm sure it felt, on a personal level, it was fulfilling to be able to do.
Some of the coolest moments of my whole career, by far.
That's amazing.
Had it not been on that paywall YouTube was trying, I think it would have been crazy successful.
Yeah.
Because it was like my vlogs, which were getting millions of views per day, but on crack. It was like this big budget vlog every day. It was really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I don't think many people have actually seen it.
Yeah. I know we had a similar thing when our company became a little more corporate ran. There's always this bashing of like, we just hold vlog cameras. We don't need a $100,000 production to film stuff. And it's funny sometimes how like we want it to just be more simple and easy. So for those 2 things, I would assume one, to your point of earlier of if you feel like shouting out a brand is making you lose money,
Yep.
I'm sure you felt like you probably were net negative in both of those things.
Yeah, so for the movie, everybody thought the movie would be super successful. The prank world was popping. It's kind of on the tail end of pranks, but it was going to be the next big prank movie. Everybody took back-end deals. I said, just give me $100K up front.
Okay.
I'll do it. Just give me $100K up front, and I'll take a small back-end deal. Nobody made a penny.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that made $100K.
I would assume.
So
that's the case.
literally the only person that made
That's
money
crazy.
was
That's
me.
crazy. Wow.
And that was just like one of those thoughts. Like normally, I'm all in on back end. I will take a percent and I'll collect it. I don't know. On that one, I said, just give me $100K, I'll do it.
Yeah, you've had a lot. It's very amazing. You've had
Yeah.
you've had a lot of good decisions that you've made.
Yeah, the show, I don't remember what I got paid for that.
But I mean,
It wasn't anything substantial, but it did take away from my dailies. And that, I totally get what you're saying. It was a takeaway for sure.
Yeah, for
but
sure. A cool experience.
some of the
though.
greatest
Yeah.
memories, man.
Again,
Sometimes
just-
that's better.
I feel like you said you're 41 now. You've had a lot of experiences, a lot of cool,
Yeah.
different life experience. Very that's the most valuable thing for me, I guess.
For
right?
sure.
I look back at like the last 10 years. There was a point where the value of our company tanked, significant, like 99% decrease, and on a personal level, I wasn't online making money. So like my whole quote unquote net worth is like down to here, and I'm like thinking about what's next, and I just realized in that moment, one of the most valuable thing is like, even if I have to reset today, I'm 28. I feel like I'm old, but maybe I'm not too old. To your point,
That's when I
of starting
started,
28,
brother.
right?
I started at
But I
28.
feel like the experience that I had, it was like the most valuable thing, and I feel like you have a lot of experiences from this world, from owning stuff like this and the movies. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, it all shapes you. It all shapes
Yeah.
you, man.
And I'm sure as a father now, sorry to cut you off, but like I'm sure you have so much that you're ready to teach. I mean, Noah's almost 20, you told me, right?
Dude, he
So,
turns
like,
20 this month.
I'm sure you're past, like, I'm sure one of your biggest goals is to make sure that you can pass all this knowledge to them in some way.
Yeah, it's hard for me, right? Like I told you, we grew up very poor. I watched mom and dad work very hard, physical, hard labor, sweat. And now it's like my kids live in this beautiful home. They have everything and more they could ever imagine. And one of my fears right now is how do I teach them that this isn't just here, right? It's like, how do I teach them what I was taught?
Yeah.
That's what shaped me, was that hard childhood. My kids got a very nice childhood,
Yeah.
right? That's not always what's best for a kid.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy, but
No, yeah.
some of the most successful people in life had the roughest childhood. Some of these celebrities, the Jim Carreys and the Howie Mandels, they all were so dirt poor that had nothing, and it does something to you. It motivates you. So, yeah, as a father, I'm definitely thinking of ways of how do I teach my kids ethics, hard work. You know, if you want what you have now, how do you work for it? Instead of like, all right, my dad's sitting on a laptop, and we have all this.
Yeah.
I'll sit on a laptop.
Yeah.
I'll just sit on a laptop and have all this. So, yeah, it's definitely something as a father you think about.
Yeah.
That sounds
At-
crazy.
At the very least, though, like even if it's not necessarily here's money or here's this and that, like that's obviously one aspect to it. But even just like the type of people to stay away from, the type of lessons you learn from
Yeah.
getting burned and stuff like that, just valuable things you could teach them. And you have a lot of experiences. It's cool. But I respect that. Obviously, I would hope that I would be the same if I ever, I'm nowhere near the same financial. Like I hope to get there where I'm able to take care of my kids forever, right, in the future. But even if that's the case, I can see myself thinking the same way as you, where you want them to work for it. You don't want them to.
I'll be honest. This laundromat's been one of the coolest things for my kids, because they get to see a place of business.
Yeah.
It's whatever
really
it
cool.
is, whatever it means. It's a place of business. So they count dollar bills. My little daughter loves sorting money.
So cute.
So I bring a stack of cash home. I let her do it all. Break this into hundreds and wrap it, and we'll take it in.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So
So we've talked about a lot of the success that you have, and it's been, congratulations on all of it. It's
Thank you.
amazing. And definitely well deserved. Do you have regrets? I know, listen, by the way, everyone always has the same answer for this. Like, I don't want to live with regrets. And I understand. I don't mean it like that, but like, were there bad financial decisions you made? Were there things that you look back and like lessons that you learned that you've learned from and you've done differently maybe that movie was an example of that, where you knew I'm going to take money up front because, just in case. Did you have any bad financial decisions that you learned from?
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely lost a lot of money making some bad decisions. I hired somebody to basically rep me. Like, sure, you get me brand deals, I'll give you a cut. You're gonna do all my day-to-days, and I paid them a lot. I think the salary was like $500 for the year. I don't care how much money I had.
That's a lot of money.
$500,000 a year for anybody was mind blowing that I could pay somebody that.
Yeah.
That went very wrong. Ended up just the ship sank. The ship sank, and I lost a ton of money, and that was a hard one. But it's gone with the wind, right? It doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely made some poor decisions, lost money.
I think to that.
Yeah, it's just part of live and learn. Like, we're all just like these YouTubers that really don't know much, right? So we're all just learning. There's no checklist to our day and our month. It's like I always say I'm winging it.
Yeah.
I'm winging life.
Well, that example, though, to me, again, makes sense now why you're here at the Laundromat. Whether or not you're running this, I know you're not necessarily running the day-to-day, but you're involved with this. Your wife, like you said, was running Smile more fully. And like, I feel like, for me, right, speaking for myself as a YouTuber, you get to a point where, like, you want help because it's so overwhelming. And there's other moments where it just doesn't work. Like, there's so many things that you realize I have to just be the one to do this or it's not going to work.
Yep.
So I'm sure that moment with that, you realize, like, maybe you don't need someone to rep you in that way like you thought you do. Maybe you can just handle. You can handle your own. Like you said, I like your quote. I'm going to say it again, right? Like, keep it small, keep it all. Like,
it's such a great lesson for me on that, because I stepped out of my comfort zone to bring in somebody that's going to crush it for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they didn't crush it. You realized you could crush it on your own.
But like you just said, for the first time in my life, I have a real camera guy that follows me around, edits the videos for me. I now allocate that time to somebody else.
Again, you're unique in the sense that you bring your family in, right? A lot of people kind of, when they start making money, especially someone like yourself, it's very public. Everything you do is public, helicopter, and I'm asking you all these questions, you're giving out all this information. So sometimes it, can make problems. Thankfully, it seems like with your family, it's like a family. A lot of it you made into a family business, but I guess in some sense with extended family, with friends, did you have problems that came with the money when you started making it?
Yeah, for sure. Not as many problems as just people I hadn't talked to for 5-7 years saying they need help and they need money. Or we've done a lot of cool things for people, from houses to cars to, very blessed to be able to give back anything.
Yeah.
One of the biggest that just really stung was, do you remember back when everybody actually hid success on YouTube?
Yeah.
Like, that was a real thing. You didn't show a nice car. You didn't. I at least in the vlogging world, like, if you bought a Ferrari, you'd never show it. It was like frowned upon because it was no longer relevant, no longer relatable. Right? So I was taught early on in vlogging, don't show anything you get. Don't show anything you have, because it will disconnect you with the audience. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not buying a Ferrari anyway. So it was Forbes magazine was the first time anybody's seen I'd made money. Dude, I was making money when people said, you can make money on YouTube?
Yeah.
You're getting your hair cut, and Barbara's like, what do you do? I make YouTube videos. Do you pay your bills?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're making ridiculous money.
Yeah.
So it was all hidden for a very long time.
Yeah.
So Forbes magazine drops top 10 YouTubers for the year.
Did they interview you, or they did it on their own?
No interview.
Oh, man.
It was just Forbes magazine drops Roman Atwood's net worth and what he's making a year.
Oh, man.
And it wasn't, God, man, maybe it was a while. I felt like it was like a month later. I was already separated from my ex for, I want to say 7-8 years.
Wow.
I got hit with child support.
Oh, man.
After that Forbes magazine came out.
Oh, no.
I was like, Forbes!
Oh, man.
Yeah, so
Oh man.
You know, and everything's good. Obviously, I was frustrated, but it's whatever. I have an amazing relationship with Noah's mother, and everything's great.
Yeah.
But that's an
at the time,
example.
yeah.
It was an example of like, as soon as the money came out, and it wasn't just her. We
course.
dealt with all kinds of stuff, but very petty.
I'm
things.
sure random, like you said, random people you haven't spoke to in a while.
Yeah.
I just know, you know, even just being a public facing figure at all, people think you're rich, period. I mean, back then it was different. For me now, like, dude, people think I have like tens of millions of dollars. I'm like, dude, I have nowhere near the amount of money you think, just because they see FaZe's value.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And it's not like I own at this point a small piece of, you know, whatever that value was at the time. So it's like, there's nowadays it's a little different probably from the time you're talking about, but a lot of people just assume too that there's just like bankroll of money that is coming in, and so like I know for myself, there's random requests I've got that I'm like, dude, you have a massive misunderstanding of how much money I have. And even if I did, first off, this is weird to ask.
Yeah,
and
Forbes,
so when you have Forbes saying it,
Forbes prints an article. They did it 2 years in a row. They printed that's a top 10 moneymaker of the year. But it was it was a new experience for us too, because we never had money. It'd be people from like you went to school with.
Yeah.
Like my wife, still to this day, will get, hey, we went to school together. Can I borrow $500? Right? And to a lot of people, $500 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I think this month alone, we paid 2 people's mortgages that are friends of ours that are struggling. I mean, we still just, luckily we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, people still hit us up every month for money, and I went through a stingy phase where I said, Britt, we're not loaning no more money, because we were getting burnt. Like, if I loan money, I'd only loan it to not get paid back.
Yeah.
That's a rule of mine.
Yeah.
So if I give you money, it's given to you.
Yeah.
Because I learned the hard way. I lost friends that can no longer pay, and they're freaking out, and it's like, dude, you're good.
Yeah.
So my new rule, and it has been for many years, is if I've given you money, it's your money.
Yeah.
I don't want payback. Don't stress about paying me back. So yeah,
That's amazing.
that's just part of, you know, if you can't give when you got, it's useless to me.
Yeah.
So giving is super important.
Oh,
to us, so.
that's amazing. I've seen like a lot of the sharks. I've seen them on TikTok like talk about this thing. And they'll say that, you know, similar stuff, but they'll be like, I'll give them, and I'll tell them the only like stipulations, you can never ask me again. Like I've heard that, or I've heard like I'll never give to my family. So I'm again not surprised by your answer based on everything else you've said.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like there's, you know, God has a way of giving you that money back. If you give it out, it's gonna come back in one way. That's what I believe in.
Absolutely, and even if you're not giving back, you're probably making him happy.
Yeah, you're helping someone. Exactly.
That's right. That's
exactly.
right.
So a big part, again, there's 2 separate things here, right? There's making money, and there's also being well known. And again, we've spoke a little bit about how it's affected you. But I guess when you were in the Rope Factory, you're making videos. So I feel like part of you wanted to be well known, famous. Like, was that a goal that you had when you were younger, or? I don't want to say it like that.
Yeah, I definitely never thought that I'd have money, and I never thought I'd have any fame. I think I was just obsessed with filming and editing. I actually started filming because I was obsessed with editing. I couldn't edit without footage. So I actually started filming to have things to edit. And that was where my passion was. Like, I like creating I like trying to polish this video I just shot, right?
Yeah.
This started with like filming my friends riding BMX bikes and skateboarding. It's like, I'm gonna cut this up, make it cool. That's really where like it all started.
Yeah.
As far as like filming as a little guy.
You know, being well known wasn't like you didn't want to be an actor. You didn't want to be out. You don't want your face necessarily to be out and about everywhere. Because obviously now your face is one of the more well-known faces in America, probably, I would say, right? Like,
yeah, definitely never even crossed my mind that was reachable, or, you know, a little farm town in Ohio. I never even knew that was possible.
Yeah.
To even achieve.
So I guess for you, it's kind of nice to be. You're still kind of like, although you're very well, known and your face is very recognizable. I guess where you're kind of still where you grew up. So has it not had a massive impact on your day-to-day life here, or has it?
I think it has, but the cool thing with local is like everybody knows you at this point. Yeah. Everyone respects.
That's what I'm saying. You're still in your,
Yeah, it's like I'm just part of the community, man.
Yeah,
it's like
cool.
It's such a fun vibe, and everyone knows I'm just doing my thing and grinding here and there, and Oh, there he goes. It's just, I'm like
good.
normal here.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
normal, and that feels great.
Yeah.
Feels great.
You're at home.
Yeah, I'm
so
at
it
home.
feels yeah. So when you travel and stuff, it's not too overwhelming either. You can still enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's like a good level. Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you, like, again, I said this multiple times now, but like Rug, I went to lunch with Rug, and like he couldn't sit and eat lunch, and it's like,
Well, we know where to go.
yeah,
Yeah. You can't. You have to avoid certain areas.
Yeah.
But
How have your kids, like, because they've kind of at this point they've all grown up in it, right?
yeah.
Even Noah basically grew up in it.
Yeah.
Like that's a decision I see a lot of YouTubers now as they get older. Like, I don't know, am I gonna do a family channel or not? So like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to call yours a family channel because you were vlogging. It was just you have what 2 or 3 of your kids were born while you already were doing it.
Yep.
With your kids growing up online, how have they? I'm sure they've been excited in one sense to see themselves and that they get to probably meet some cool YouTubers and stuff that they like to
Yeah.
watch. But how has it been for them to grow up in the spotlight? How do you feel as parents having their whole kind of life, I guess? I know it's not their whole life online. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's not, but like, even just people being able to see them and know them and
For most of the kids, they don't know any different,
yeah.
right? Kane, Cora, and Knox, they actually don't know any different. It's just their life. It's mom and dad make these videos. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, dude. I
Yeah.
think places of business bring a little reality to
Yeah.
their world, so it's
Cool.
great. But overall, the experience has been so positive. The things my family has gotten to do because of it is just something that most families never get to do.
Yeah.
I know almost all the YouTubers that my kids watch, so it's like, hey, you FaceTime me, and it's like my
Yeah.
kids get to be a
Yeah.
part of that. And it is very cool. Downside, double-edged sword of that is all my kids are homeschooled now.
Okay.
Public school was chaos for a while. We did it,
Oh, really?
but it was chaos. Like, I got to pick up the kids, and back then all I had was high
Supercars?
schoolers and
Oh,
kids,
okay.
and it was chaos.
I thought you were pulling up in a
No,
supercar.
I felt terrible that my kids couldn't be normal at school. So then we did private school, which was great, and now all my viewers are older now. They're 18 minimum to 35. Like,
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
all grown up. They're adults. They're so respectful. And I don't deal with a lot of issues with kids anymore.
good.
I
That's
swear, yesterday I was at a restaurant and a kid came up to me and said, "Dude, Roman Atwood." I haven't heard that
Yeah.
from a kid
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
Yeah.
Now it's a very just adult business channel. My
Yeah.
kids are vaguely in them if I'm actually with them. Everything I do now is very real and raw. If I'm here, I'm filming here. If I'm
Yeah. You just film wherever you're
I
going.
film whatever
Yeah.
I'm doing, and I do focus way less on my kids. Like, I don't
Okay.
want it to be a family channel.
Yep.
I want it to be a business channel with inspiration, motivation, a place my viewers can go to get lifted, feel inspired, a little spark under their
Yeah.
under their tail,
Yeah.
But I'm with my kids too sometimes, and they jump in. My
Yeah.
daughter loves in the videos.
She loves
It's
being
like-
in, I'm sure.
Yeah, she is the YouTuber.
Yeah.
So I can't say, honey, no.
Yeah.
Daddy's the only YouTuber in the house.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. It is a double-edged sword. It has come with certain things. 90% or more
Positive.
very, very positive.
That's amazing.
I've gotten to give them such a cool life because of these
Yeah.
videos. So
That's amazing.
Thankful for that.
Yeah, I've seen Noah actually a lot on my like TikTok. Like,
Oh, cool.
he's got a. It's like a lot of people also grew up with him, right? So
Man.
seeing him as an adult now, he's
Noah's
in the
fan
gym,
base-
He's put on a lot of muscle, right?
Noah's fan base is something to be looked into. They are so loyal. Like you said, I don't know how old Noah was when he started, but the first words on the vlog channel was from Noah. And he was a kid.
Wow.
And so were all the viewers. And now they're all Noah's age.
So they're all like, they all feel like he's like a brother.
They
know?
literally
Yeah.
grew up with Noah more probably than anybody.
Yeah.
So his fan base is wildly just into whatever he's doing. I'm excited to see what he does. He moved back home this week.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about it. I saw that. How
Moved
does
back
that
home
feel?
this
I'm sure
week.
you're happy about that, huh?
Oh man, last night we're cooking hot dogs on the fire with the whole family, listening to music. It's like it's been a year and a half since we did this,
Wow.
so it felt amazing. Excited to see what he wants to do. I know obviously everyone's like, you guys got to do a prank together. Yeah, there's some things where people are just hyped about from the old days, but
So you think he's gonna pursue like content creation in some capacity?
I don't know. He's doing a little. He's dabbling.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
But he has also made it kind of clear he doesn't love it,
Okay.
which, man, I get more than anything.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't love the Rope Factory. I didn't love guitar. My dad played guitar every day, so I get that.
Yeah.
You know, I get that. I don't expect any of my kids to want to do it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So at this, like around this time in the episode, there's a question I usually ask, and I think I already know your answer, and I also know that you probably don't want to talk about this too much because it's been over talked about. But I have to ask
All right.
because what I usually follow all this up with is like, are there moments in your life of being famous that, what was like, what were the bad parts of being famous? And I know you have a very famous story of, an incident with the FBI. And
Sure.
Again, you guys have spoke about it at length. You've probably spoke about it
Yeah.
on multiple podcasts. You
Oh,
have
yeah,
a
there's
video
so many
about
videos about it. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't want to like make you go too deep into it, but can you just give like a 1 minute, like what exactly happened, just to give some context as to like
I can give you all kinds of juice on like what it's like to hit a certain level on YouTube.
Yeah.
Especially in the early days where it wasn't so common.
Yeah.
I think even now if you just popped off super famous, it wouldn't be as bad. I don't know the exact amount, but I'll tell you this: we had 24-hour police officers at my home for 5 years.
Wow.
Every day, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, every day of the year, 24-hour police. We had to build a guard shack, a gate, a fence around the whole property. It was chaos. And honestly, if I didn't have kids, I probably wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
I probably just wung it. But with the kids, I did everything possible to secure the property. Spent, I don't know, way over $1 million on police officers. I hired a lot of the police that worked in the town. So that's one part of being a content creator is just the sheer mass of success we had in the early days of YouTube when it was so unique to be successful
a
on
lot of
YouTube.
eyeballs on you.
It attracted a lot of want to see this YouTuber.
Yeah.
Right? We've had a handful of incidences where, people would jump the gate and get caught by the police, and a lot of that off camera. We had an entire incident where we were actually off the internet, which was one of the hardest things I've ever done. I think at times, I think of my favorite TV show, right? And then I think about it just ending without a word.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I had to do that.
Yeah. You just.
I had to do that, and it broke my heart, and my viewers were worried, and it was just one of those things is that when the FBI says, look, you should leave the internet. They actually, I don't remember them saying leave the internet. They're not legally allowed.
Yeah.
But they made it clear you should get off
Stop,
the internet
yeah.
until this is over. That ended up taking a year.
It's so crazy.
It ended up taking a year.
Because you really didn't say anything.
Couldn't say a word.
You just stopped posting. You and Brittany and nothing.
Ghosted.
Just ghosted them.
Ghosted.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I remember this happening, but you literally gave no, hey guys, we'll be back.
The situation was so intense that we just did whatever they said.
Yeah.
We did whatever they
Especially,
said.
again, you're thinking about your kids before everything at that point.
Oh, man.
So.
Nothing else matters.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So.
Yeah, crazy situation. It had a positive outcome for us, and I think the person doing it too, I think hopefully will change their life. And I didn't sue them. Cost me God loads of money.
Wow.
I didn't ask for a penny, never asked for a penny from them. The lawyers were saying we can comp you all this money. I said, I don't want it. I just want this to end. I just want my family. I just want this over for my family.
Yeah.
So that's where I left it. FBI handled it. The state handled it. And I never asked for a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping down the road, this person's life will change and they'll be fine. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But, man, it put us through hell. Put us
Yeah.
through hell. Rightfully.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it wrecked my life for many years. I still think I sleep bad because of it. That all being said, like, the success of all I've created financially is only half. I think what I've also been able to do at the same time is create this family.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is one of the most successful parts of my life.
It's amazing.
Because I see a lot of people building wealth, and that's it.
Yep.
I've somehow been blessed with the ability to teeter-totter both. Building family, raising kids, having kids, while also keeping the totter even with building businesses,
Experiencing all this
creating
stuff.
this
Yeah.
content.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like two worlds, building two worlds at the same time. Because my biggest fear was like, okay, I have all this money, but now nobody.
Yeah.
And man, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Or even people with kids, they just don't spend time with them. They don't know their kids. Their kids don't know them.
Man, money's so boring without a family, bro.
Yeah.
It really is.
No, there's
It
a lot
really
of
is.
people I've spoken to too who are like, that's all they want. Like you see some people like, you know, I meet other YouTubers or stuff that, like, to your point, have so many experiences. They've done so many cool things that 90% of their viewers would think is like the dream life.
Yeah.
But they're like, I just want to have a kid, just live a normal life. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people, it's like a human, natural human, I think, like instinct to just want.
It's a tough combo
to do that,
because you don't know it until you have one.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you can tell people all day, but once that kid enters your life, all of a sudden, almost everything that bothers you becomes so silly.
Yeah.
Now you have this human being that you have to raise, and it's fun. And I don't know. I feel like I certainly wouldn't have anything I have without my family. So
Yeah.
all credit to them.
Yeah.
And there's no better motivation in the world than having to raise a family.
Yeah.
Want what's best for your wife and your kids.
Yeah.
I think people that fear having kids based on finances, for me, is super backwards. Because there is no better motivation than once that baby comes.
And having to feed them. Yeah.
There's no better motivation. No, there's no fear better than that moment.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got a kid now. You will start making money.
Yeah.
I promise you. I promise you.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Without that motivation, though, you're just like, well, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. And then, you know, you turn 40, 50, and it's just like, some people, it's too late for some people. So I think
Does
it's-
become too late.
I think one thing I will say of a lot of the culture that I think is prevalent in like American culture recently, is like the grind culture, compared to Europe and other parts of the world where there's more of that balance. So I'm
Yeah.
glad you were able to find the balance. I hope that we were all able to find that balance. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that just like throw out the concept of having a kid or a family because they need to make as much money as possible. So, you know, some people are motivated by different things, but I mean, I feel like I could agree with what you're saying that I can imagine when you hit a certain amount, it's not going to fulfill you in any capacity.
Yeah.
Compared to having family and sharing it with people and
Yeah.
yeah.
There's an incredible quote. I'm drawing a blank, but it's something on, don't get so busy creating a business that you forget to create a life. And you can get so trapped into chasing that dollar. The dollar is such a trap. It's
Yeah.
like it is what it is. But
Yeah.
if you don't create a life while doing so, there's nothing else. I can't think of how boring my life would be without my family.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
It actually is like a living hell to think about that. So
You know,
no.
even like I just traveled here, right? And last night I was in the hotel, and I was just sitting there for a little. Like, man, because sometimes you think about like you want to just have free time and just do your own, but like sometimes when you have that, like, because I'm always around my family and my friends or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm here by myself in the hotel. I'm like, I'm bored right now. Like,
Yeah, I'll tell you what happens to me every time. This is
Yeah.
probably relatable. I'm at home, all right, irritated, right? I get irritated.
Yeah.
Kids, the noise, blah, blah, blah. I need a break.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a trip. Brittany and I'll leave. 30 minutes after I leave, I miss the kids.
Yeah.
I miss them.
Yeah.
The whole trip, I miss them. Can't wait to see them. I get back home, 30 minutes at home.
You're over it.
Oh, God, I need a break.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
It's a cycle.
it's the cycle.
Yeah.
It's like we love them to death, but when you're not with them, you miss them.
Yeah.
When you're with them, you're like, oh, I need a break.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. man.
Yeah, I
It's
love
like you
your-
watch the gorillas at the zoo and that little one's just beating on dad, dude.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Especially with 3 boys, I'm
Yeah,
sure that
dude.
happens to you all day.
It just is what it is, man.
I don't know. I hope that the people watching are taking away a lot from it because I'm taking away a lot from this conversation.
Cool, man.
Genuinely, like you're dropping a lot of wisdom, whether you
Cool.
realize it or not. So thank you. We really appreciate it. I'll wrap up because I know you have your kids waiting for you at home. So,
It's fine. I need a break.
all right. Well, when you're back home, call me if you want to film something else in an hour. But you know, we've spoke all episode about what you're doing now, so I'm not gonna ask what you're doing now because clearly you're doing a lot, and especially YouTube. You're back now on YouTube. We
Yeah.
spoke about it, but 150 days. I'm just curious what sparked that kind of like return.
It's a great question. I think I'm a psychopath or something, dude.
Yeah, that's a big, because that's a commitment, by the way. That is people don't realize how big of a commitment it is to like, I'm going daily again. Especially Well, everything we just talked about, the businesses with the kids and all that.
Yeah, and you know, I started a brand new channel too, so I didn't start with one of my.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
I started from scratch, which to me and everything I do, I actually enjoy more.
Okay.
I love starting at zero. It's so fun. I joked around about doing it for a long time, probably a year and a half. I joked around with it. In fact, my camera guy editor, Nate, we joked around with him a lot. Like, I want to do this, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know when I'm going to do it. And I kept blowing it off for months and months and months. And I hit him up and I said, look, I'm going to start a new channel. Let's try 30 days. Let's just hit YouTube for 30 days. And I think around that mark, my buddy Country said, if you make it to 100, I'll shave my beard. And he's like you. He loves his beard. You ain't touching my beard.
I need my beard. I don't just love it. I need it.
I need it. I need it. Okay. So this became a challenge.
Yeah.
It was like,
he motivated the wrong guy.
I was
don't know what
like,
he was thinking.
but I also was like, I was also finding habit again.
Okay.
I was finding habit. It wasn't like I'm all in or nothing. So if I don't have a schedule, it won't work. Like if I'm gonna make a video whenever I want, I'll never upload. But if I gotta upload every day, I will do it.
Yeah.
And I've done this in the past. I did a decade, 8 years of uploads. So 550 days in a row was my most.
Wow.
Without missing a day, and I only missed one day, and then I went back.
Yeah.
So it became this challenge, and then inside that challenge, we bought this place, and it started creating content, and it's now not only a habit, but it's now just my daily life again. And I'm actually fascinated with it's helping people.
Yeah.
It's helping people.
Yeah.
People are either starting their company finally, people are getting more motivated from it. And it's fueling my fire to see that.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I want to do. I don't want to go around and do inspirational talks at colleges. I want to just create content and give them all this for free. I don't have a program you got to sign up for.
Yeah,
and
no course or anything.
I don't have a course. I just want to give all my life away for free in my experience. Whether it helps you or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want to give that to my viewers. It's the least I can do. I mean, they've given me everything.
Yeah.
Truly, my viewers have given me everything. And they come in here now, and it's the first public place I've ever had
It's really cool.
that they can potentially meet us.
Yeah.
And it's been fun, man. It's been fun. I don't think there'd be daily without this laundromat.
Really?
It has created so much content. Viewers love it. I leave, and they're pissed.
Yeah.
Like, we want laundromat content.
I'm so glad we filmed this here. Then.
Yeah, it might actually pop. Dude. It's fun.
That's awesome. So you think you're gonna break the 550?
Oh, man.
That's a crazy number, I know, but
I have thought about that before. It's like, could I
if
beat
you
it?
set yourself that goal, then it's like,
I'm honestly like a day at a time right now. I'm
Yeah.
feeling good. I'm trying not to let it. I know a lot of guys that have done this that have destroyed their mental health.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
truly.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't complain about it on camera because people don't get it.
yeah,
It sounds like you're being a baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Go lay concrete for 8 hours, bro. I
Yeah,
get it. There's
yeah.
harder jobs.
yeah.
But there's something about daily YouTube that's very hard mentally.
Yeah.
Whether you think about it or not, you are creating content.
Yeah.
You are trying your best to give the viewer the energy. You are working.
Yeah.
And you're posting every day, which takes a lot of time. So,
And to your point earlier of the fear of like losing the money you made, that's the thing. When you have an off day, like you start thinking, "Am I about to lose?" You know, it's this mental battle of losing everything, and like, what am I going to do with my life if I?
it is kind of a drug
Yeah.
on YouTube too,
Yeah.
because as long as you're uploading, your green is like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you miss a day or two, and all of a sudden you got this huge dip
Yeah.
like that.
You take a month off, it's over basically.
You take a month off,
Yeah.
the algorithm has already kicked you to the curb.
Yeah.
All your green is red.
Yeah. Oh man.
And they punish you.
Yeah.
So it is a trap, but I found something finally that feels great. I'm doing my daily business. I'm motivating people, and
That's
you know,
awesome.
a pinch of family in there. That's it. It's
That's
like
awesome.
it's.
You found a balance that.
I
that
found
works
something
with
I
you.
love. I found
Yeah.
something I really enjoy. Like, I'm happy.
It's a passion again.
I've had 5 to 10 struggle days through the 160 of just like, man, I'm not feeling it today.
Yeah.
I need a break. Give me 2 hours, or like, Like I'm just mentally not there.
Yeah. But it's your day to day now. That's your main thing. Your main goal every day, from a work perspective, is to get the vlog done.
Every single
Is
day.
that fair to say?
Every single day. It's
Yeah.
habit now. I don't
Yeah.
even think about it.
Yeah.
Nobody asks.
Yeah.
They know tomorrow I'm filming and I gotta edit and I gotta get it posted.
But you know, you're just saying you're barbecuing with the kids and all that, so you find the time to do both. Still.
Yeah, dude. We
So-
wrap a video. We come in for however many hours work, and then I'm free to hang out with the kids. So
Amazing.
it's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. It's amazing. So I don't even have to ask you this, because I think you've always been happy. But a question I like to ask is if you're happy now to the guest, and I feel like you're happy, and I would I guess I will ask it if there's any other
Yeah.
answer, but.
Yeah, I can think of times where I've been less happy. So
Yeah.
I feel good. I
That's
feel
good.
really good.
I'm glad.
I think that on the opposite of that, I think rock bottom's important for a lot of us too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am right now without rock bottom. Just a quick story I'll throw in for you.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll help somebody because I feel like a lot of people are going through this. When I separated from my first marriage, I was married previously.
Yeah.
Young age, had Noah. He was 3, and we split. It was over. I hit rock bottom. I just now lost my son full time. Like, I have my kid every day to not having my kid every day. Destroyed me, completely crushed. I would actually sneak into the rope factory at night. I had a key, and I would sleep in the offices under a desk. I would sleep wherever I could. I was broken. I would be drinking bottles of Jack Daniels through the week, just by myself, drinking rock bottom. Had that all not happen, that's why I want to tell this for the viewers, because had that not all happen, I could have made better decisions through that rock bottom. I didn't have to drink alcohol. It just bought me time.
Yeah.
But had the darkest time in my life not happen, I wouldn't have Brittany, I wouldn't have Kane, I wouldn't have Cora, I wouldn't have Knox, and I wouldn't have YouTube. So what I thought was the worst thing in my life became the greatest blessing.
Yeah.
And you can't see it when you're in it. So all of you going through the worst time right now, you can't see it. But when you see your life in this big timeline, it's going to be green, 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 green. And this miserable part's going to be this little red dot. And then green, 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 green. So look at it, expand it. You're just in this tiny moment of pain. And without that worst time in my life, I wouldn't have everything I have right now. So I just want to throw that out there for anybody going through a really rough patch.
That's.
There's only one place to go from the bottom.
I honestly feel like we robbed you for free of all this amazing I swear
Like
to
I said,
God,
dude, I want to give it all. I
No,
want to give it
it's-
all for free, man.
Your channel, I mean, I'm not even like that, but I gotta check out your daily videos now, because I'm telling you, like, I'm very blessed myself in a lot of ways, but like I've had a rough few years because of FaZe. Like, everything was
just
up
the phase,
for a
dude.
decade, for 14 years. We were all skyrocketing,
Yeah.
and then it
Green,
plummeted.
green.
That plummet was really rough for me.
Yeah.
So to your point, like 2 years of me kind of like just moping around or whatever. And this show was a way of me to get out and just go again.
Heck yeah.
So that's why I appreciate you helping.
Good.
But like, I hope I'm starting to see that what you're saying. I'm starting to hope that I can my future will be a lot more successful than my past, because of, like you said, kind of losing it at some point. You realize, okay, this is this is just an opportunity to do even more and more in the future. And
Absolutely.
that's where so you kind of just helped me there in a way. I'm not gonna
Amazing.
lie, and I'm sure
Good.
there's a lot of people that appreciate that. So your YouTube channel, that's what you're giving daily now, huh?
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what
lot
I'm
of
trying.
that, so
That's what I'm trying. Yeah.
everyone definitely will subscribe and check that out. And I guess my last question for you is, long term, do you have any long-term goals in life? I mean, again, I think thankfully you've been pretty blessed to like build your dream as you go.
Yeah.
Right. You have your property, you have your fun things that you do, your family's taken care of. You've just spoke about all the things all the money you put into ensuring the privacy and safety and all these
Yeah.
things. Is there like a long-term goal that you have down the line that you like, okay, 10 years I hope to be there?
Yeah. Well, I've always joked about that I would die on an island.
Okay.
I've always joked about that. I'm obsessed with islands. I just talk about happiness, dude. I'm vibing
on an island.
on an island, bro. So I've always joked about that. Hopefully not 10 years, but I have always considered that maybe that's where I'll end everything. Like I'll, whether the families, we got a spot somewhere tropical, and we live in Ohio.
Yeah.
So Miami's tropical to us.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like LA's tropical to us, right? We don't have a palm tree.
Yeah.
So when you're in Ohio, you appreciate islands.
Yeah.
Big time. Clear water. We
Yeah,
have
yeah.
mud puddles, dude. So there's that. As far
Okay.
as like, man, I can't even tell you where I'll be in 6 months. Everything changes so much and so fast, and
So maybe an island is the last piece that you would be happy
yeah,
with.
well, it's just something I've always
Yeah.
joked about, and a lot of things I joke about just truly happen. So
you just said it, so.
yeah,
the
yeah,
Roman
it's-
Island one
that's
day.
one of them things I've said since I was probably in school.
Really?
So, yeah, in
Then
my
I-
life
then
now.
I'm, by the looks of how your life has gone, I'm certain that you'll have the island at some point.
Just need
so.
a dang palm tree and some sand, dude.
All right,
So
well, California will always welcome you if you want.
Yeah.
And by the way, Los Angeles isn't all of California. There's a lot of beautiful.
no, I know. Of
Come down
course,
to Orange
of course.
County,
no.
San Diego by Rugg.
I have.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think what I found a lot from my time away was that, I think as humans, especially as men, I know a lot of people in my life that I'm depressed, I don't feel good, and a handful of them aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
And I try to explain this. It's happened to me.
Yeah.
Happened to me.
Yeah.
I felt my worst, and it took me a long time to realize I'm being lazy.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like crap. I'm doing nothing. We need to accomplish things.
Yeah.
That's why we're addicted to video games. It gives us accomplishments and awards, and it's like, even though they're not real, it's that dopamine.
Fulfills it, yeah.
It fulfills that.
The desire.
So I'll say if it, hopefully I'm still working in 10 years, and I'm just being productive. I think production keeps me happy.
Yeah.
Sitting still, although it sounds great, maybe for a day.
Yeah.
Telling you guys, if you're not fully happy right now, try to accomplish something, big or small. Just take the reward, take that dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Accomplish something. I don't care if it's tiny.
I couldn't agree more, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I told you, that a year or two where I kind of like, even if financially I think that was one big lesson I took, is that I need to be doing something always, because like I can't just sit at home. And when I did it, I was going crazy.
Yeah, you go crazy.
And I've even heard like research studies about how like when people stop working, their life, like a lot of them, their health deteriorates pretty quickly, and like.
Yeah. Well, look at water when it stops moving, bro.
Yeah.
Turns green, gets ugly, gets stagnant, starts to stink.
Yeah.
As long as it's rushing, though, it's beautiful.
It's amazing. It's an amazing thing to end on. It's great advice. Thank you so much. I genuinely, wow, this was a lot more. Like I took a lot more from this than I expected. So I
Amazing,
really
dude.
appreciate it. Thank you for giving us part of your Saturday and letting us come in the laundromat.
Absolutely, man. You guys can do your laundry anytime.
All right, you got a discount code here, guys. If you want some laundry. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah,
Thanks for
appreciate it.
having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, guys, check him out on his new YouTube channel. I mean, I have to shout it out, but I honestly feel like everyone could benefit from it. So
Yeah, right on.
knowing that that's a new, approach of content. Hopefully, by the time they see this, you'll probably be. I don't know when this is gonna go up, so you might even be across 200 days at that point.
Oh, dang.
Even more. Who knows?
You challenge me to hit 200?
I want to see 551. 551. I
Oh
want to break the
my.
record. So. Shout out to Roman, literally legend, goat of YouTube.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Seriously, even more than I thought after this episode. So
Appreciate that.
congratulations on all the success, and hopefully you and your family are always happy and blessed. And thank you again. Thank you for having us.
Heck yeah, bro.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.